In the following minutes, I will talk about Python basics. This is the index. I will present the learning objectives. I will show a first program. Then I will talk about data types, expressions, and variables, and also string operations. At the end of these sessions, it is expected that the students will understand how to interact with a program and know the main basic data types. Students also will know how to create and manipulate variables and use string operations. Programming is a type of written language that allows us to send instructions to devices and computers to complete specific tasks. Those instructions must be precise. It means without being ambiguous. Each language has its own set of rules or syntax, making each unique. This is an example of a simple program. The result of this program is "Hello, I'm here" printed in the screen. In programming, a variable is used to store information that we can change and access on the fly. When we declare a new variable, it is stored in a specific spot in the computer memory. If we need to retrieve the value that we store, we can just access it by using the variable's name. Variables are used to different reasons depending on the situation. We can use them to ask the user for information and then store the response, to track the amount of time an event occurs, or even to trigger an event in a program depending on its value. A variable can store many types of different information, not just numbers. They are called data types. Here I will talk only about primitive data types. Knowing the different types of values, how we operate on them, and how they interact with each other is very important in data science. An integer are signed whole numbers. Sign means they can be either positive or negative. Floating point numbers are exactly like integers, except they can store fractional numbers. Floats are important in coding as they can give you more accurate and precise answers than integers can. For example, when dividing, you will be able to see the fractional remainder. Strings store a continuous set of characters, which can be declared inside of either single or double quotation marks. Strings are important as they give us a way of storing text and special characters within a variable. They also give us a fantastic way of storing qualitative data from our data sets. Booleans are the simplest variable type. They can only be either true or false. They can also be declared with either a binary 0, false, or binary 1, true. Boolean also help improve the readability of our code, since reading a word true or false is easier than interpret a number. Clarifying a statement is an instruction that the Python interpreter can execute. Examples of statements are print and assignment. In Python, like in many other programming languages, we can use operators in order to calculate. and manipulate different variables. Operators are special symbols that represent computations like additions and multiplications. The values the operator uses are called operands. Arithmetic operators are most commonly used to operate on numerical variables. Most of them you may have seen before in other contexts, especially the four basic operations. Remainder and power have different signs according the language. What I call other operators will be explained later. Conditional expressions are a way of asking the program a question. When you write one in your program and run it, the program will decide if the answers to the question is true or false. A conditional expression will typically contain three parts: a left operand, a conditional operator, and a right operand. A small example of this is shown in these pictures. The left operand being the for, the conditional operator being greater than. Symbol that the right operand being 2. This just asks a very simple question. Is for greater than 2? The greater than operator is used to check if the left operand is greater than the right operand. The less than operator is used to check if the left operand is less than the right operand. The equals operator is used to check if the given operands are the same. The not equals operator is exact opposite of the equals operator. It is used to check if the given operands are not the same and will resolve the true if not equals to each other. Greater and less than or equals to, these operators do the exact same job as the less than and greater than operators, but they also check if the value of the left operand is in the condition expression is equal to right operand. And, or, and not are examples of logical operators. Equals is the symbol for setting. In this example, A is set to 5, B is set to 4, and C is set to the comparison of A with B, so false. There are two built-in functions in Python for getting keyboard input. In this example, it asks the user to write an expression and stores it in a variable called n. We may also perform several tasks manipulating strings. What is the type? In fact, it is a string. So, if you want to perform calculations, you must change to integer or float. If you want to concatenate with other string, we must use string. We may use the function float and convert the n into a float number, or we may use the function int in order to transform into an integer number. Here we have several operations with strings. We start by using the len function that shows us the length of a string in characters. Then we may use the lower method that converts all the characters stored in the variable into lowercase. Then we may use the upper method that converts all the characters stored in the variable a into capital letters. The strip method allows to remove spaces from the beginning and end of the string stored in the variable a. In the example, the method replace allows to replace all the characters m into characters b found in the string called a. In order to create comments, we may use an hash. If you want to have several lines, it is also possible to use triple quotes. Now I left you some challenges. Summarizing, we made a small program. We analyzed what are variables and types of variables. Then we created several expressions using mathematical and logical operators. Finally, we analyzed how to manipulate strings.